Roosevelt?
Yeah.
He said a thorough knowledge of the Bible is better than any college education.
Yeah.
Right.
So this book is smarter than you niggas, man.
Hey, you go on the
You
wisdom.
gotta humble to the book.
So like you go in the Wisdom of Solomon 17th chapter, all the ologies or the study of the world, anything that really matters is inside this book. It'll give it to you. You know what I mean? There's a long list in the Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter, listing all the things that this Bible will break down and teach you, and even stuff that is secret and not manifested out, you can learn.
Yep.
The future things, prophecy, so on and so forth as well.
Yep.
Are we good on that?
No, it's still-
That was mine.
We have sinned and have done perversely. We have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land. And thou gavest unto their fathers the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name.
Yep.
Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause. And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, and they that may have compassion on them.
And if I may say, you know what that means? The moment the Most High have compassion for us, meaning the Most High he's beginning to feel pity. Now he wants to deliver us. That means that these nations are gonna get jacked up.
That's right.
That means these nations got to give us up. Like, oh shit, they God
Take
basically
them captives whose captives they were.
They God want they nation back, man.
Yep.
You know, like I want my woman back. You know, when you start feeling pity for us, hey, he's gonna come and deliver us, man. And guess what? We're still found in their hands. And this is the reason why Esau pushes so heavy that demonic vibration, so that you Jace could be so proud and arrogant in your ways, man.
Yep.
You know.
I got another one at the root.
That's why when you see an Edomite here talking shit against us, normally it'll be them siding with the devil than with us.
Yep.
You know, they'll hear what he got to say before he hear us, man. You know? Yep.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 36 and 37. I'm sorry, 35. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Yep. The word, man. That word being preached among all nations, you know. And now the Most High is beginning to have mercy upon us, man, by waking us up out of that slumber, basically waking us out of those graves, man. You know? He brought us out of those graves because he had compassion upon us, man. He couldn't stand to see his inheritance just draped in the dirt, man. You know, nations just pissing and shitting on it and doing whatever they want.
When your car fails,
yeah, man.
When your car fails you, you'll be pissed at it. You be like, man, fuck this car, man. And you just leave it out in the driveway or on the curb and park them, you know, let it get all dirty and the heat withering it and breaking up the seats and drying it all out. Yeah. But eventually you be like, you know what? It really wasn't that bad. Let me clean it up and see there's still some good out of it I can get out of it. Let me clean it up. But that's what the Most High gonna go back and clean us up. And that's this process washing with this word now that we're going through. Yep. Okay, we're being cleaned up through the Spirit of the Most High, that we may be worthy to make it into this wedding.
Yep.
What's that in the book where it says
Two.
verse 2?
2 and like 30. We shall remember ourselves. Did we get it?
Yeah, you know what? Let me get this in 4 real quick.
Baruch 4 and 6. You were sold to the nations not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath.
Hey, the same thing he said, I will not be with them if you transgress against me, but if you hold fast to me, I will be with you and protect you. You know, that's the same thing right there. He allowed the nations to come upon us and destroy us.
Ye were delivered unto the enemies, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High Yahweh.
Hey, that wasn't the one you wanted. That's a good one.
Yeah, I know this is what.
That was on point.
Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of the Most High coming upon you, she said, Hearken, O ye that dwell in about Zion, the Most High have brought upon me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nourish them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning.
Yeah, man. He's the Most High. He saw it, man. He saw what Israel went through. Like, man, I hated to do it, but hey,
I'm not
the
going
Most
to treat
High,
me like this.
yeah, the Most High doesn't. He doesn't enjoy seeing us, you know, just bugged out as a people, man. Without an inheritance, we don't have nothing to show forth.
Yeah.
It's like we're good for nothing because He made us a holy, righteous seed. You are the salt of the earth, but you know,
You're becoming a degenerate plant unto me.
yeah.
I gotta pray for what you just said. It's Wisdom of Solomon 1:13. For the Most High made not death, neither have he pleasure in the destruction of the living.
Hey, man. Get was that Ezekiel?
Yeah.
Get Ezekiel. I want to say it's like the 18th chapter, like the last 2 verses.
It says, verse 31. Matter of fact, 30.
Yeah.
Yep, it says, 30. It says, Therefore I will judge you, O house of Israel, every one according to his ways, saith the Lord Yahweh. Repent and turn yourselves from all your transgressions, so iniquity shall not be your ruin.
Mm-hmm.
Cast away from you all your transgressions, whereby ye have transgressed, and make you a new heart and a new spirit, New Jerusalem, right? For why will ye die, O house of Israel?
Why will you die? Why do you want to die, man?
Yeah.
You love
You know?
death.
You really love death?
Get
You
the
love
victory over it if you follow after me.
You love getting destroyed like that, man. You know, your women getting snatched away and your children getting snatched away, raped. You know, you dying of hunger, famine, pestilence, man, diseases. Y'all love that, man. Y'all love filling up the hospitals, man. Y'all love dying early. You're not living out full lives, man. You love that. You know what I mean?
That's the life of Esau. Esau loves death. The Israelites are supposed to love life.
Yeah. It shouldn't be that hard a decision to choose which is which.
Man.
One more verse. It says, For I have no pleasure in death of him that dieth, for the Lord Yahweh, wherefore saith the Lord Yahweh, wherefore turn yourselves and live ye.
Yeah, man, that's him talking to Israel. His brother that was that 2 Peter 3?
Yeah, that's one I was thinking of.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You know, he's not slack concerning his promise.
Yeah.
As some men count slackness. That's 2 Peter 3:9. Yeah.
Count. It says, verse 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
Talking about his people Israel.
He want all of us to come. He want all of us to come to repentance and come back to the law, statutes, commandments.
Hey, well, did it say in the parable that Yahweh taught? It said, "Isn't it a glorious thing when a man returned from sin to righteousness?"
The angels rejoice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't want to see our whole nation do that?
But he already knows.
Yeah. 2/3 ain't gonna do it.
ain't gonna do it.
A remnant is selected for to be delivered, to be saved, and there's a remnant, or not even a remnant. You call them a multitude that's gonna have to perish, have to go through death by pain on the side. It was, and that was written from the beginning. Before the earth was created, that number, that preordained number, that predestined.
Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 22, I'm going to read down. So the house of Israel shall know I am the Lord their power from that day and forth. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword, according to their uncleanliness, and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. After that they have borne their shame, and all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid.
We're in that righteous state, man. We will fully understand and have acknowledged all of our offenses, man.
Yeah,
whether early on this side or after death by pain on the other side.
Yeah, because in the kingdom, Israel, they're gonna know, what they done in their, over here in America, man.
Yep.
That's why you're gonna have that shame,
Yep.
Right.
the everlasting shame, man.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be worse for you guys that tasted of the righteous knowledge and turned away, man.
The heavenly gift, yep.
Yeah, turned away back into the world, man. It's
Follow
gonna be
back
worse
in
for
the
you,
mind.
you
Yep.
guys.
And those of you that received your consolation, y'all gonna be ashamed too, man. You're the men that basically sold your soul to the devil, man.
Yeah. You men that are paid off to teach that the mark of the beast is not the RFID chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna be a good thing to read about in the kingdom about yourself, man.
Right.
You one of the men that led a lot of our people to missile fire, man. Shit.
And that's gonna be people in
And you ain't gonna.
the kingdom of heaven. That role is gonna be fulfilled.
Con. And it ain't like when you read about it, you're gonna be getting cussed out for it. Because
Right.
we're gonna be righteous, we ain't gonna be sinning.
Switch,
Ain't gonna be
yeah.
no need for that to happen. We all gonna love each other.
Yeah.
But you're gonna know, everybody's gonna know their own legacy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We all gonna leave a legacy behind from this, man.
Yeah, what you done to the prophets, on this
God,
side,
yeah.
scorning, talking shit, putting hands on the prophets, you're gonna know.
And what was that, Ezekiel 36? It talks about how they shall loathe themselves. Ezekiel 36. Because it's like, if we in the kingdom and the Most High puts the law, statutes, commandments in our inward parts to do the law, then why would we even at any point in time, why would Israelites be loathing themselves? What does it mean to loathe yourself? It means to basically to detest or despise, man. If you ain't doing nothing wrong, you ain't got nothing to feel sorrow for. But obviously, what that's talking about is you're gonna basically your sins. You're gonna remember that, man.
Yeah. A lot in this chapter, bro.
Yeah, it's 31. Well,
There's a lot in this
Yeah.
chapter.
Yeah.
Good chapter. I almost, man.
points at 31, but you don't know.
Yeah. You want me to go because that means a lot. It's pretty good. I'm gonna start
Start at
at
25, maybe.
Start at 18.
Okay.
It says, matter of fact, 17. It says, "Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way, and by their doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman."
Hey, our righteousness is as a filthy rags, man.
Yeah, rag, no pun intended, right? Woman that's got her filth or her monthly.
Yep.
It says
A bloody ass maxi pad, man.
yeah. So
Go ahead.
wherefore I poured out my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah. It says, and I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judged them. And when they entered unto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name. And they said unto them, these are the people of the Lord, and are gone forth of his hand, of his land. Talking about the other nations, right? It says, but I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whither they went. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord power Yahweh, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake.
Yeah, for his holy name's sake, because remember, he said he exalted his word above his own name. He's basically, he made a covenant with us. He made a covenant starting back with Abraham. And it was gonna trickle down to his seed and his seed seed.
And what they say, a precious name is better than a good name is better than precious ointment. Those healing ointments.
Yep.
Well, the word could heal us, but his name is that precious name is what's healing us through that spirit of his name.
Let me get this quick scripture real quick. This is Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 40. It says, if they shall confess the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I have also walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humble, and they then accept the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land.
Yep.
You know?
That's good, because it's going to go right into that in this chapter I'm reading. Yep.
So that's why the Lord said, not for your sake that I do it, but for my name's sake.
Yeah.
Okay, because he's not a man that he should lie, man. He promised us he was gonna give us the land flowing with milk and honey. Okay, that we would be a nation above all the people upon the face of the earth.
He said that we would deliver us into that land.
Yeah.
You know, we can't deliver ourselves. The Most High is going to, through his son Yahweh Shai, is going to put us into the land. All these things in the scriptures are coming to pass and must come to pass.
And he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
That's right.
And he's going to do his will accordingly, as he said he would. Hey, how faithful is that? And I said I was going to do it, and I'm doing it. We should learn, because he delivered us out of Egypt. But then he said, if you profane, you go against me, I'm going to remove myself from out of your sight. So he's doing that. But then he also said, but I will not keep my wrath upon you forever. And he brought Yahweh Shai to deal with us, to bring us back unto himself. So he never lied.
Yeah.
How good is that, to have somebody that never lied to you, that always spoke, good or bad, did what they said they was going to do.
I am the Lord, I change not.
Right.
Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed.
That's right.
The Lord even said that in Jeremiah. If you can number the stars of heaven, you know, if you could measure the sand of the sea, you know, if the ordinances of the sun and the moon, if you can get that to stop, then I'll cast away all the seed of Israel, man. You know, so basically the Lord, he already made the promise. His word is etched in stone.
That's right.
So he's gonna have mercy upon his inheritance, man.
I got to put it real quick.
Hebrews 6 and 10. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed towards his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's not going to forget. He like the scriptures, he's not going to forget all the prophecies and all the things that were spoken through the prophets from the Most High. In this book, He's going to do them. He's not going to forget the prophets that stood boldly for His name and for this word either.
Yep.
Back in Ezekiel 36, verse 22, it said, "Thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went. And I will sanctify my great name," cleanse it, right? "My great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh."
Yep, it's a lot. And they profane the Lord's name and His Son's name by calling Him Jesus Christ, calling Him God, putting that image of Cesare Borgia up that, you know,
calling Yahweh,
all these false names, you know. That's how you profane the name of the Lord.
saying where's the promise of His coming.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, hey, His name is He is. He gonna do it.
Yeah, man. If you an atheist or
Yep.
you worshiping,
What's that shit called? Agnostic.
yeah, agnostic.
All that stuff.
I believe in a God, but we can't know it.
Yeah, man.
You know, that's a cop out.
Yeah.
You Jakes are famous for making your build a God.
Mm-hmm.
You create your God, man. My God is, you know, he loves everybody. He allowed me to smoke cigarettes, you know. I just pray over this shellfish. It's clean already.
And Jake is so full of shit. They got so many excuses, bro.
Yeah.
It's like,
Where it say that in the book? Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was written by the white man.
Yeah, it's always another. We brought it out earlier. It's
Yeah.
always another excuse for our wickedness,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Hey, our Jake be disrespectful to the Most High every day,
Yeah.
man,
Yep.
with no fear. You know, even these women, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's blasphemy to say that.
These women, you know, they.
Yeah.
What if God is a she? What if it's a her?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the woman is God. You know.
Regina King from Boys
Yeah.
in the Hood.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. There's more. It says, and I will sanctify my great name, which is profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh, saith the Lord power, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. For I will take you from among the heathen, and will gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land. We all touched on these points, that's why I read all the way down. Thus will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you.
Yeah, and that started with Yahweh Shai, man.
Yep.
He came and brought the baptism. You know, it started with John first, but then Yahweh Shai gave you the true spiritual baptism, man.
Yeah.
And now we're clean through the word, you know, which the Lord spoke.
Yep. Right. Quicken through the word.
Quickened through the word, man. Go ahead.
It says, a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. Right, that's the future, right? It says, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh.
Yep.
And
So we ain't gonna be rebellious. You know, we ain't. You know, Israel ain't gonna be bucking up against the men of the Lord, man. That's gonna be what's that? The second covenant.
Yep.
You know, we'll make the new covenant with the house of Judah and with the house of Israel.
Yep. We will say no more, know the Lord,
For all shall know me, from the least to the greatest.
Yep. We're going to teach the heathen to know the Lord.
Yep.
We're going to teach them with a rod of iron in our hand, in the scepter. It says, and I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them.
Or he gonna program us
Yep.
to be perfect and
Perfectly righteous.
to be
yeah.
perfect, man. Go ahead.
It says, and ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and I will call for the corn, and will increase it, and lay no famine upon you.
No, basically no more curses.
Yep. And I will multiply the fruit of the tree, and the increase of the field, that ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen. That's the verse that you see,
You're
right?
gonna have substance, man. All right. Hey, Jerusalem right now is I mean, that whole land right now is cursed because the devil is there, man. When we go back, Jerusalem in the land of Canaan is gonna go back to being fertile. It's gonna go back to being that land flowing with milk and honey, man. It's gonna be able to yield abundant crops and vegetables and fruit and herbs. Right now, they ain't growing nothing, man. They gotta get shit flown in.
Yeah, trees, the soil,
Yeah, the kibbutz and all that.
sand, all of that.
Man. The land is cursed right now because of the serpent. Okay, and that's a clue in itself to let you know that those are not the people, man. Go ahead, Alex.
Verse 31, then shall ye remember your own evil ways and your doings that were not good, and shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations.
Man,
Yep.
so you gonna loathe yourself, man. You know? So that would have to mean that those legacies, we're still gonna know about it.
We're gonna be like, damn.
Hey, just like
now.
today,
Yep.
we talk about Judas Iscariot, how he betrayed the Lord.
Yep.
All right, this is over 2,000 years later.
Yep.
You know, we still read about his wicked. We still read about King Saul, and that was nearly 3,000 years ago. And those souls are still back. They just don't know who they are.
Rehoboam, Jeroboam,
Yeah,
being wicked, you know.
they just don't know who they are.
All those
If they were to know who they were in their past life, then they would feel that way.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, like I'm.
Think of how
You know?
we feel. We be like, damn, I was a wicked ass nigga before this truth.
Yeah.
I was fucking up, you know. And you look at some of the iniquities that we were doing before we came into this truth. You look at yourself in disgust.
Yeah.
You know, but that's part of that acknowledging your offenses, like it's talking about. But there's some out there that the 2/3 that don't come into the truth, that no matter what, they see the way like that went right. Fuck it. You only live once. I had to try that shit. I had to do that. I had to, you know, that justify and make excuse to be that wicked ass person. The Most High's got a sword furnished for you. That was pretty much the point. I think that was the verse of the point.
Oh.
I can keep reading.
And that leads to what was that, Daniel 12? That some shall awake to everlasting shame and contempt. You know? So when they come back, that's, now you gotta remember that, man. You're gonna have the men of the Lord they're gonna be famous, they're gonna get the praise. You know, like the prophets, they all get praise for their works, man. Daniel in the lion's den, the 3 holy children, in the fiery furnace. You know, I mean, yeah, you could get it. You know?
Daniel 12:2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Yeah. You know, so basically you're gonna be destroyed. All right, that's gonna be your shame, and then you're gonna come back in your right mind, hating that you actually was a part of that, man. You know, and like a lot of our women, the majority of them, they gonna be the most humble women ever, man. Because they gonna have to know all the evil that they did, you know, against the men. Feminism and you know, child support, all type of crazy shit, man. You set niggas up to get robbed and put to death. You know, draw men to depression. Men, you know, they get all.
48 Jakes, right?
Yeah, man.
The snitches as well as those that committed crimes.
The women that yelled, he rapes me, and
falsely.
he got a long ass sentence, man.
Yeah.
And it was proven he didn't do it. All that type of shit, man. That's enough to just be like, yeah, I was a piece of shit, man. I wasn't nothing, man. I don't even deserve this, man.
They're gonna, like you said,
To show you, and that's to show you the level of mercy of the Most High, man. Okay. Hey, the Most High, his mercy is everlasting, man. The fact that we still gonna get the kingdom, even these wicked ass 2/3 grimy ass niggas, their souls are gonna come back and still get to enjoy the inheritance, man. Jeez.
How merciful is that?
That's none of us have that kind of mercy.
The Most High could just save the elect and be done with you, the rest of the
He could
2/3
just, he could write you off like he gonna do Esau.
and make new spirits.
Yeah.
You know?
He could, yeah.
He could.
He chose.
He could have really gave you he could have really Obadiah 18 to 2/3 of you niggas.
Yeah.
But because he remembers his covenant, his word, you know, for he does it for his name's sake,
Yeah.
that he will not forsake his inheritance.
I will not keep my wrath forever.
He's still
upon
gonna
you.
give it to you, niggas,
Yeah.
man. But you just gotta pay the price though.
Yeah.
You gotta get that second death, man. You gonna get that special fire for your ass, man.
Like when Yahweh was going to destroy Israel, when he was on the Mount Sinai with Moses.
Yep.
Moses reminded him of that covenant. You know, he said, you know, he was ready to destroy you niggas, man.
Yeah.
You niggas that was murmuring against Moses and Aaron.
Oh hell yeah.
You know,
He was ready to wipe y'all out
Yeah.
back then in the wilderness. man.
Yep. Like, man, I'm through with these niggas, man. Wait. You said, and you know, like, you're right.
Yeah.
You know, it's damn.
You know, and you know how when somebody gets you,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
didn't you say that? Oh fuck, you was doing
You're right. Damn.
You got me on that. All
I
right.
was going.
I was
You're
going.
right.
Woo,
And I
motherfucker,
let
man.
this one slide.
I was gonna let the fire and brimstone rain on y'all ass down there at the bottom of that mountain.
Uh-huh.
That's that. But that's the ultimate unconditional love
Man,
that the Most High is show Israel.
Hey, he got it for us. How come we can't have it for him?
Yeah. God.
What's wrong with you two
Like when you go through shit, you know, you catching hell. You know, that's the Most High showing you love. You know, it's not. You know, you love him. You know, Jake love the Most High when everything is going good, but when shit is going bad, you know, they turn their back on the Most High.
They murder me, yeah. You just want some faithfulness, man.
God.
I got something. Deuteronomy
That's
30.
why he created 7,000 men who should not bow down their knee to the image of Baal, man. You know? That's why he created that remnant, the elect, man.
Deuteronomy 30, I'm going to start at the first verse. It says, "And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind all the nations whither the Lord Yahweh thy power hath driven thee, and shall return unto the Lord thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart, with all thy soul, that then the Lord Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord Yahweh thy power hath scattered thee. Yep. If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And the Lord thy power, Yahweh, will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers.
Yep.
And the Lord Yahweh thy power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed to love the Lord Yahweh thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And the Lord Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Yep.
So
And thou,
just-
you got it.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord, and do all his commandments which I command thee this day.
Yeah, so basically the Most High, really, we could hold, we gotta hold the Most High to that.
Yeah.
We could hold him to that.
How do
man.
we do that? By doing our part.
The Most High likes when we
Turning back to him.
we tell him, you know, with the word, you know, what he said.
Like even when you send up a prayer to him,
Yeah.
you know, like when you try to send up a prayer for something specific to him, and you could put the Most High on the spot, like did not you say whatever I ask in your name, that will you give me?
Yeah.
You know, you could put that in your prayer, man. And Most High be like, yeah, he remember what I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
so hey, I'm gonna give it to him.
As well as when he said, what did he say? He said, basically when we when we call upon him, dang, how did it go? I'm trying to think how that script goes.
But
Basically, when the men that prayed to him be like, Lord, thou knowest the type of man that you made me. So now perform that work that cleans that iniquity up in me, to perform thy righteousness. You know, a lot of like King David and him asked for stuff like that. That he knew our shortcomings, but hey, clean me up. Make me according to thy will.
That's right, man. We could close out. Let me get this
was
this last pre. It's Jeremiah 14 verse 19. It says, "Hast thou utterly rejected Judah? Has thy soul loathed Zion?" This is him complaining to the Most High. It says, "Why hast thou smitten us, and there is no healing for us? We look for peace, and there is no good, and for the time of healing, and behold, trouble. We acknowledge, O Lord, our wickedness, and the iniquity of our fathers, for we have sinned against thee. Do not abhor us for thy name's sake. Do not disgrace the throne."
That's asking him like, hey, didn't you say?
Uh-huh. "Do not disgrace the throne of thy glory.
Yeah.
Remember, break not thy covenant with us." Hey, you can do that, man. You can hold the Most High to His word.
He appreciates that you care enough to know
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, man.
Do it for your name's sake. You don't want to pollute your own name. Keep that good name about you and perform those works within us.
And it only matters to the Most High if you're holding your end of the bargain.
Right. If you still been a wicked ass dude.
Yeah, you can't try to cry out. Yeah, the Most High ain't hearing you niggas if you sending them prayers up after you got done smoking, a black or something. You just got done eating some pork, or you just smashed some dude's woman.
Going on.
Well, now that prayer becomes a curse to you. All right. But outside of that, if you're doing the right thing, hey, the Lord, He hears the crying prayers of the humble, man. It pierces the clouds. Okay? So if all of Israel was to do that, then Esau would get dethroned right now. Okay? But the Most High has it to where, now 2/3 ain't gonna do it, man. So Esau gonna continue to be wicked and try to build himself up to the status of the Most High until finally, the sins reach to heaven, and the Most High remember and come down here and put a foot, sideways, knee deep. So that's pretty much it. We're gonna wrap up. We're gonna give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash.
double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom, Warp, peace and blessings upon the tabernacle of David. We're gonna say Shalom.
Shalom.